Hello, everyone. It's me, as you can see, Xeno. Again, you're watching Lord of Darkness, and as you can see, well, I'm not in the Chantry because today I am a werewolf and I'm in a Karen here. Yeah, why? Well, because I will be reviewing something. What will I be reviewing? Well, I will be reviewing the new book for Werewolf The Apocalypse 5th edition called Wyrmtide, but I personally prefer to call it just Book of the Worm 5th edition because that's what it basically is. Book of the Worm. And talking about Books of the Worm, I absolutely adore every single one of them. Like this Beauty Light here for the 20th anniversary edition, and this gem for the 1st edition. And I will be comparing the new Wyrmtide to this, and to the 2nd edition also. I will not be using for comparison this book, even though it's amazing. Why? Well, because 20th anniversary edition for basically every splat in World of Darkness is a lot of stuff, and 5th edition is, well, tries to start anew in a way, and this has a lot of content, and I love it. Yeah, so I will be mostly comparing the new Wyrmtide to the 1st edition book and the 2nd edition book of the Wyrm. I don't really have the 2nd edition physically, but I have it in PDF. And I also will have the Wyrmtide in my hands physically in the near future when it will arrive in the mail. For now, I have just the PDF because I pre-ordered the physical edition. So yeah, let's start this. So how it will look like? I will, obviously use for comparison Book of the Worm 1st and 2nd edition, and I will mostly talk about things that I like and dislike in the Wyrmtide book. And I can say it's already, I like a lot of things in this book. It does a lot of things really good, and it's one of my favorite World of Darkness 5th edition books, like in general. It's in my top 5. But there are some things that might be not pleasing to some people. But let's start. For starters, obviously, Book of the Worm, what is it about? I mean, Wyrmtide, as the name suggests, it is a book for Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition that gives us a lot of things, a lot of informations about how the worm operates and functions in the 5th edition. How Black Spiral Dancers work, how Pentex works, and a lot of other cool stuff. So yeah, starting with I guess the most interesting thing, gifts. Yeah, the book gives us a lot of new gifts, 16 in total, and is the same amount as in the 1st edition book, so it's good. But, well, only 8 of those gifts are usable for our player characters. The other half is purely for Black Spiral Dancers gifts. Well, obviously, you don't usually play as Black Spiral Dancers, so it makes sense to not use their gifts and you only use them for the storytelling. But still, obviously, you still can use them, but they are specifically stated that you should not allow your players to have these gifts because they are tainted by the worm. They are gifts of the worm, and, well, you are Garu, not Black Spiral Dancers. So yeah, a generous amounts of gifts, and that's good. What is not good, however, are talismans. Yeah, so, you know, fetishes, the magical items. There isn't really a lot of them in this book. How many? I have a list. For example, in the first edition book, there are 23 new items that Black Spiral dancers can use. Some talents, some fetishes. And here we have 6. 2 usable for normal Garou, and 4 for Black Spiral dancers, the worm-tainted Bane talismans. Is that a lot? It's not really a lot, but they are cool. We have the Scourge, Bone Scourge Whip, that will be talked about a little later, because it's tied to a very specific someone. I'm very happy is back also. And well, the fetishes are cool, but there isn't really much. Talking about now the character customization, we have some new things for our characters. Yes, specifically. Some new merits and flaws, and they are good. I really like them, especially my favorite is the Wolfman flaw for our Crinus form. It basically makes it so that our Crinus transformation looks more like a wolfman than a, you know, normal werewolf. You still have your face in a way, more savage face, but it's a flaw. It hinders our character, but it's cool. I like it a lot. And there are obviously some other flaws, other things for our characters to do. Next, we have 3 new lore sheets, and I really like these lore sheets. Actually, it's not much, but they are so good that I actually don't mind that they are only 3. The 3, I won't go into much detail about them, but the 3 are Bane Tenders, so some things for you to control Banes, to have some magical items tied to Banes. For those of you who don't know, Banes are basically worm spirits. So that's cool. The second one, my favorite, I think, the Skinner. Yeah, those of you who know Werewolf The Apocalypse previous editions know who or what the Skinner is. And let me ground you a little. It's not that person. It's not the ashtray. Or is it? We don't know. The Skinner is described in this lore sheet as a stolen moon. So a werewolf that got their werewolfness not by being a Garou, but by some sort of magic. And he is described as a monster hunting other werewolves and shapeshifters, taking their skins and stitching them to his own macabre clothing to gain their power and transform into a hulking Crinus monstrosity. And this lore sheet refers to mostly things you can do against the Skinner. And you gain him as a flaw, as an adversary flaw. So it's really cool. We don't know if it's somewhere high. He's not really described beyond this lore sheet in this book. But still, it's cool to have some skin dancer back, even if it's not a full werewolf but a stolen moon, but still cool, he's back. The third lore sheet is tied to the thing I said before, the Bone Scourge Whip talisman, because we have Zigza, the notorious Black Spiral dancer mummy that everyone absolutely loves, and she's back. She has her own character sheet, she has some new graphics for her, and I'm thrilled she's back. Our werewolf mummy is back, and that's great. And this lore sheet functions similar to the Skinner. that it gives us some new capabilities to fight against Black Spiral Dancers and Zigzag herself, and we get her as a 5-level adversary. So that's cool. I'm very, very glad she's back. Because, yeah, you know, here, look at her. Of course, we're happy she's back, right? So, beyond that, the book goes in depth about Black Spiral Dancers themselves, but not very much in depth. We get to a little insight into how they operate, how they see the Shattered Garu Nation, how they see the world in the era of the apocalypse, what they're doing, some individuals from the tribe that are antagonists for us to fight against. But there really isn't much like deep information. For example, their new totem or patron spirit, the bat, their new patron spirit in the 5th edition. We didn't know what he gave them in the core book for Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition, and we still have no idea how he works. We just know he's there, and he's a patron spirit of the Black Spiral Dancer tribe. So that's that. What we got to know is that in the era of the apocalypse, so the 5th edition timeline, Black Spiral Dancers are actually the most numerous of the tribes. And comparing it to the 1st edition book, when they were described as like 1/10 of the whole Garu population, now they are majority, because in this new era of the apocalypse, most young werewolves fall into Harana or Hauglosk, and they, join Black Spiral Dancers out of their own will. They are not forced, they just prefer to not waste their time on a battle already lost. And that's a good way of thinking. We all should go dance the Black Spiral. So, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of information about Black Spiral Dancers. That's good. And also about other servants of the Wyrm, like Pentex, for example. We get to know a lot about the companies under Pentex that Pentex controls, what they're doing, how they operate, and what sort of danger they pose to Garu. And one of these companies is described to make certain things, certain creatures, not for Mori, but a sort of line of beings described in the 20th anniversary edition for the first time, in a way, the Mockeries, also known previously as the Mockery breeds. I didn't expect them to be in this book. They are, kind of a niche thing even in the Book of the Wyrm 20th anniversary edition. But we got them back. Only 2 out of 5, but still, it's cool they are here. We got 2, the werewolves, so like a not really werewolves, but kinda werewolves. Basically kind of a rabid dogs that can transform into Krynos and stuff. That's all they are, basically. And ape shifters, previously known as Yeren. I still have no idea why the 5th edition doesn't use the previous names for other shapeshifters, like Mokole are not really in the 5th edition, but the Raven shifters were Korax previously, Spider shifters were Ananasi, and Ape shifters were Yeren, referring to the, I think, Chinese monster. It was like a ape creature. But they're here. Ape shifters are here, and I'm glad they're back because they're awesome. There really isn't much info about them. but we, know that they are the most evolved in a way, kind of mockery breed, that they can use gifts and do stuff like that. So it's cool. They're back. I'm really happy for that. And we also have lots and lots of other new antagonists from Fomori, new Banes, the Earth Worms are described, the Elemental Worms, Thunder Worms. Lots and lots of very cool stuff. Lots of story hooks for them, ideas for chronicles. So this book really gives you a lot. And it's actually longer than the first edition and second edition Book of the Worm. Obviously, it's shorter than the 20th anniversary edition, but 20th anniversary edition for everything was just too much. Yeah. Made the Ascension 20th anniversary edition. Yeah, trauma is real, but yeah, this book is like 200 pages, 180 something. So moderately long, has a lot of, like I said, cool info, lots of antagonists, so cool. Talking about Fomori again, for example, there aren't many new powers for them. There really weren't much in the core book also, but here we have like 8 maybe for them, which is not a lot. There is so much Fomori powers in earlier editions, even in the first edition. And Fomori are supposed to be versatile, they're supposed to be freaky, weird, and we need more customization options for Fomori. Obviously, your storyteller can come up with new powers, new breeds of Fomori, but, it's cool to have it in the book. And there's not a lot of this. But that's, minor issue that can be worked over. And yeah, so my final thoughts about this. It is like a 20-minute long tirade about this book. To sum things up, it's a really cool book with a lot of cool new art, a lot of new ideas, cool insights, cool new things, story hooks, antagonists, new tools for the storyteller and the players. So it really gives you a lot. From the Werewolf The Apocalypse, 5th edition, it's my favorite book. Even better, in my opinion, than the core book. But maybe that's just because I am tainted by the worm. Who knows? Well, I own most of the books of the worm, so perhaps I'm a black spiral dancer. Who knows? You don't. But yeah, like I said, it's a really cool book. I recommend it and can't wait to actually have the physical copy. So come on, Renegade, hurry things up a little. And yeah, I fully recommend it to check this out and dance the black spiral and enjoy the era of the apocalypse. That would be all. For those of you who already own the PDF of Wyrmtide, share your thoughts about this book in the comments. Did you like it? Was it lacking? Did you didn't like it? Yeah, what do you think about this wormish tome of forbidden spiral knowledge? I liked it. I give it 8 out of 10 in 5th edition scale. And yeah, like I said, top 5 my favorite books in 5th edition, period. So yeah, thanks for watching this kinda review. And yeah, see ya again in another video in some time. Oh, oh dear.